So following day, Saturday, and I've demasked, and I'm quite pleased with that result. The paint match is good. I'm just going to polish the rest of the car up, but the paint match is actually really good. I'm pleased with that, and considering it was a large area to lacquer, I'm actually quite pleased with the finish of the lacquer as well. It just needs a little buff over. Might not need that much, to be honest. Quite pleased with that, and the front wing obviously I did as well. I'm just in the process of starting to machine polish here as well, but yeah, not too bad at all. Still got a little bit of a gap there I'd like to improve on, but you've got to leave it sometimes and crack on. With the wheels, what I decided was I got rid of the worst flaky bits and just used a generic silver. Tried to stay off the face of the wheel. Probably easier to do it on one when it's in better light. Tried to stay off the face of the wheel so that the colours don't mismatch on the wheels, and just did the inner areas, tidy them up. So just basically got rid of the flaking, powdery paint, got rid of that, and just used a generic silver wheel paint inside the edges here, just to tidy them up a bit. I say no one's going to give me another £500 for the car if I do full wheel restoration job on it, but I just wanted to make it look tidier. So what the plan is now is machine polish the rest of the body. I think this is going to look really nice in this metallic grey. Now it's all tidied up, and like I say, once it's machine polished, it's going to be a really nice combo. I think it will come out as a nice car. So yeah, going to crack on now, machine polish the rest of the bodywork and see how we get on. Remember our scuffed edge to the bumper with the terrible hand painted bits on it? So where we are now. This is the very satisfying thing about doing this job, when you can, God, the wind's really strong outside today, when you can take these scruffy cars and make them look good like this. And when you can achieve this with a rattle can, there's also a certain amount of pleasure to that's the finish from the rattle can. So you can see we've got a good shine and a good even metallic colour. So yeah, pleased with that, considering I did it late at night in the cold. So that's the little Honda's interior finish. Sorry for the shout, I'm trying to compete with the wind. All been machine polished, and she's had some black to black on her. Back to black, sorry, on her, and as suspected, she's come up looking really, really good. I know it's more difficult, hard to see her from this side because of the light, but yeah, she's really smart looking little car now. So tomorrow's Sunday, I will take the day off, but on Monday I'll be getting in and hoovering out the interior and tidying up the interior, ready for a photo shoot. And photo shoot. Yeah, and I think she should be out the door pretty quick, I'd have thought. Smart looking little car. It's got an MOT right the way through to December. It's got a really good service history, and I think I'm probably going to ask 2295 for it. 58 plate with 80,000 miles on. I don't think it's a bad price at all for a car that's now come up this clean and tidy. But the public will decide. We'll see how quickly it goes. We obviously no longer have any of the scrapes on the bumper, or on the edge of the bumper there, or on that front corner of the bumper. That's all blended in really nicely. So yeah, the public will decide if that price is right or not. So hopefully we can get it up for sale on Monday morning. So quick update on where we are. The Mitsubishi is finally outside because it's finally put together, went for its MOT, no problems at all. The young lady came, test drove it today, and she's definitely having it. The money's hit my account any minute, so that's a good one. I think we made £1,100 off that one, £1,200-ish. The Dacia that I got after the initial 9-car buy is still waiting to get the timing checked out. I haven't had a chance to do that yet. The little Fabia is still with us. I haven't really had any bites on that at the moment, but it's gone quiet overall, so it might just be that things are a little bit quiet the last couple of days. But as I said to you before, I get stressy if stuff doesn't shift within 2 or 3 days, so it's not really got It's only been advertised for a few days now, so not the end of the world with that. What we got going on inside, Honda's having the cleaning the inside. So obviously I did the bumpers the other day and that all looks good. So she looks really good now. The wheels, the basic job on the wheels actually looks better than I thought. It looks really good. Pleased with that. Much better than that flaky mess that was there before, but also a lot quicker than a full respray. So she just needs a good clean out outside and she's going to be a really tidy car now. Got the Bravo in that I also picked up after the initial 9 cars. Cam belt's done on that now. The gasket that's leaking is done. Just trying to get the dirty wheel cleaned up where the caliper was stuck and covered it in brake dust that's really stuck to the wheel. So trying to get that off at the moment. Got a new wing on the way. Picked one up for 50 quid. So it's got a new wing on the way. Same colour, so hopefully that'll go straight on. But I do think it needs a top mount. It's knocking a little bit on that. Made another purchase as well. Another little Mazda 2. You remember the other Mazda 2 went very quickly out the first 9 I got. Immediately restocked with another Mazda 2 and it's a nice metallic purple. This is a non-cat car. It's done, what's it done? It's done 60,000 miles. Drives great. Took it out the other day. Drives great. No, sorry, took it out this morning. Drives great, but it had fluctuation through the pedal, which turned out to be really bad brake pads. So I've done discs and pads this morning on both sides and drives like an absolute champ. Now this really is a nice colour, this metallic purple. You probably can't see it on camera. The only real thing is some dents in the door here that kind of like detract from it overall. Other than that, it should be a simple wash and stick it out there job. So yeah, I have got a Nissan Micra turning up in a minute as well. I wasn't going to buy any more cars. I was going to clear this and then get on with my 106 Rally and with my MGB. But I can't help myself. If I see a car that I think is going to sell quick, I grab it. If I know I'm not making money, if I'm not selling cars, and I can't sell cars if I haven't got cars, so I've got to get them at the right price. As long as I get them at the right price, I'm all right. So this one here, I think all in, delivered, owes me £2,000. 2011, 60,000 miles. Going to do a few bits and bobs on it. It's an easy 2995, but probably more like a 3295 if I don't do the door. If I do the door, retail for it's 3795. I'd probably 3495 it. I've got a dent man coming on Monday if he turns up to see if he can sort those dents out. If he doesn't, I'll sell it with the dents at a really good price. It's got good history. It's got a long MOT. I've just serviced it because it was quick to do, so that's actually all ready to go out the door. So let's crack on and clean the interior of this Honda, and then I'll be able to show you some pics of how it turns out. The interior before cleaning. It's again, I'm working late tonight, so unfortunately the picture's not particularly good for you, but carpets are a mess. Seats are stained. So let's see what I can do with this. So the Micra's turned up. I really have got my hands full now, haven't I? I really should be holding off. I've got a little bit more that I can get on with at the moment. 62 plate, 50,000 miles. I forget which model this is exactly, but 50,000 miler. She looks really good nick. There's one bit down here that, you know, on the corner of the bumper I'm going to be able to do with a rattle can, no problem at all, because I can blend from there, that's no problem. Other than that, the bodywork looks really good. You'll probably see this again in the daylight in a better video. Interior looks good. You can't see, it's too dark. I need to sort out some lighting for you guys. But we'll have another look at this another time. Interior looks good. I'm hoping that one, it's got a long MOT on it. It's not a cat car. I don't know what the service history is. I'll have to look into it. But I'm hoping this is one I can wash and stick out with the rest, so I can have that up for sale along with that. All the small cars. So that was to be about 2,995 on a 62 plate. That'll be like I say, hopefully 2,995, but maybe 3,295. Hopefully this is about 2.5. That about 2,195. We've done a cam belt on it, all that kind of stuff. And then I've got the little Hyundai I picked up the other day, haven't I? The little Hyundai i20. That'll be about 2,195, and then we'll have the Fabia at about, I think I might drop that to about 1,800 quid. And then we've got the Yaris to get ready still. So I'll have a lot of stock around that £2,000 to £3,000 mark, £3,500 mark. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, they don't extend the lockdown out. And then all the kids that haven't been able to get their driving tests done will be out and about looking for motors. And I should have the right kind of stock for them. Fingers crossed. But yeah, so crack on with the Honda. Let's get that done. I've got to keep focused. Get the Honda finished, cleaned inside. It's already been buffed. And then buff this one, clean this one inside. And then clean that one, buff it, get the right paint for it. Get the corner sprayed up. I can probably photograph this beforehand, just avoid that bit. And then spray it afterwards so I can get it up for sale. And then get the suspension done on the Bravo. Get the interior cleaned up on that. So that can get up. That's a nice looking motor, that actually. Anyway, let's get cracking. Right, it's 11:30. I'm shattered. I'm going to go home now. But I've got 3 cars ready to get up for sale tomorrow. So the Jazz is all done. It has come out brilliant. It is fantastic looking car now. Compared to the slightly tatty one that came out. Looks absolutely fantastic. It's a bit dark now to show you the interior, but it came up mint. Really did. It's going to be a fantastic little car, that. The Micra that came in at 6 o'clock, I've already given that a polish and a hoover. Scored with this one. Super clean. Super, super clean. One owner from new. Full service history. I'm going to have to get the matching paint tomorrow and do that corner. But I can photograph it, just stay off that edge for the moment. But that's come up super clean. Looks amazing. The Mazda, absolute pig. Whoever had it before, their neighbour decided to paint their house near it or something. It was covered in little white specks. But now it is a brilliant shining purple. Let me see if I can't get a torch for you on that one, guys. You need to see that. Here we go. Yeah, it's come up a brilliant purple now. It took me a lot of time to do it. But it is now fantastic shiny purple. Really good looking car now. Oh, this should fly out the door. It looks really, really good. Again, interior came up mint. So I'll be able to get all 3 of these up for sale tomorrow. That's why I wanted to push tonight. Get them all up, plenty of time for the weekend. And then I can crack on tomorrow, do a bit more on the Bravo. It does need a top mount. The suspension's knocking, so I need to do that. And then get her out for a proper test drive and check that she runs okay. And then I think it's only the Yaris left, really. And if I can get on, crack on and do the Yaris, I can then play with my 106 Rally. And I can get on with the MGB wide body in the background here. That doesn't seem to be getting much love at the moment. I haven't really got on with her at all. So, yeah. It was worth staying late tonight and getting that done. Really, as you can probably tell, pleased with the Honda. It's going to be a cheap car for someone, but it looks really great. Okay, catch you later. Honda's out for a photo shoot. I said I'd get you a quick video of it in the daylight. I said she looks really good. That bumper came out really well. Front and rear came out really well. But a big change is that interior came out really nicely, considering how bad it was when it arrived. So I'm hoping this one should be a quick flip, because they're super popular little cars and they do the family thing really, really well. So let's get her up for sale. Well, we've got our new lineup outside. Excuse all the noise. Got a new lineup outside, getting all the cars lined up. And the black Hyundai i20 just went. Good profit on that. Cover that in a... So, quick update of where we are. We got the Bravo here, which I know wasn't part of the initial 9-car flip we've been talking about in these videos. But we got the Bravo in. Sorry, I've got a bit of dirt on the camera. There we go. So we've done the cam belt, sorted out the coolant leak on it. I did the rear caliper, Changed out the discs and pads on both sides on the back. Got some really heavy brake dust to get off, so I've got to see about getting that off. But then I wanted to sort out the front end. I could hear that a top mount had gone when I was moving the car about, and it seemed to have no suspension travel at the front. Well, I've stripped the suspension out, and I think this will give me a pretty good reason for why I've got no suspension at the front, and probably why the top mount's gone. So I'm not mucking around. I've got all new suspension coming for the front. I'm not entirely sure the shocks are any good, and they don't seem to rebound particularly well, so we're going shocks, springs, top mounts on both sides of the car, but that's to wait till Monday because the parts aren't here yet. This will make someone a hell of a car once we're done. You think about it, it's had new cam belt, water pump, oil filter, discs, pads, caliper on the back. Now we're doing the front suspension. It's going to make someone a hell of a car. I might even burn around that for a bit myself, I think, before I move it on. Where are we with everything else? Nothing's happened with the Dacia. Again, not part of the 9-car flip, but the Dacia we bought while we were doing the 9-car flip. It has I've not even had a chance to look at it why it's not starting yet, so nothing's happened with the Dacia at all. Coming down the lineup, still got the Yaris from the 9-car flip. Haven't got round to doing that yet. I need to get it in and do the clutch on that, or the gearbox, not sure which, and change the window regulator before that can go up for sale. I've left that till last. 106 Rally, again, not part of the 9-car flip, and we will be doing a video specifically on that soon. Haven't got started doing anything on that. Still got that white 500 kicking around with the twin air problem, but I just use that for running around all the time. Got a 1.2 Sport. Had for a while. Normally these sell super quick, but I think because of lockdown the more expensive cars aren't moving at the moment. Still got the little Skoda Fabia. Now the bonnet has seemed to have lightened up since we painted it, so it's going to have to come back in again and be painted again. We did have one bite on that, but I wanted a bit too much of a discount on it, so I sort of held my nerve on that. So that's moved slower than the rest. Still got an automatic Fiesta kicking around. I haven't really spoken about that much. I bought that because I thought autos might be popular around my way, but again, bought it just before lockdown. It's a 5k car. Doesn't seem to be a lot of interest. So back onto the 9-car flip stuff. So we've got the Honda Jazz out, looking great now. So that's now up for sale. 2295 I've asked for that. Maybe about £900. So actually, thinking about it, it's the Honda Jazz, the Fabia, and the Yaris from the 9-car flip. So 6 of the cars have gone. I'm only left with 3 from that 9-car flip. So, you know, let me know if you want me to start going through the numbers now or wait until they're all sold. The 2 cars that turned up late the other night, we've got the Mazda 3. That's all been buffed and polished. That's now up for sale. And the little Nissan Micra that came in, it was super clean in the first place. That's up for sale. The only bit of bodywork I need to do on that is the bumper here. Sorry, the rear quarter just got a touch of scratch in there, but that came in super clean. So yeah, so out of the 9-car flip, we've already shifted 6 within a month, and one of them hasn't even been finished yet, which is why it's not up for sale, which is the Yaris, of course. So we'll see what happens. I mean, we're supposed to be coming out of lockdown mid-February. I'm hoping that what happens then is that all the first-time buyers come back out again in force, and some of the shift and some people that want the more expensive cars will come out the woodwork. When you get stuff like the Fiesta I've now had for a couple of months, which is very unusual for me. Cars normally sell, you know, within the month. And there's a bit of money tied up. And when you get cars like that, sometimes you just take a hit, get the money back in the bank, because you know if you put it into another car, you'll flip it around quicker. So I'll probably end up letting that go cheap. I've never had to let a 500 Sport go cheap. Normally they fly out the door, so I can only think it's locked down at the moment. And I've got it at a very keen price. So, yeah. Not sure what's happening with that, but yeah. So 3 of the lockdown, 3 of the lockdown obsessed, 3 of the 9-car flips are already sold. As I said to you before, I think when I do the maths, it'll work out the ones I've got left are effectively free, because the other cars have already paid for them, so they'll just be clear profit. But we will see. In terms of anything else, still haven't got anything done on the MGB wide body. I've just been too busy with that 9-car flip, and then obviously I've bought more cars since. I've just got to put the other door, fiberglass door on the other side, which is over there somewhere. getting all the fittings in, because I want to fit them all up, get the glass in, everything, so they're weighted correctly when I line them up. Because then once they've got done, put the other one on the other side, I can put the front wings on. And once I put the front wings on, I'll know everything lines up. I can take it back off and start bodyworking. First things first though, I'll probably tidy the engine bay up, because the engine builder's patiently got waiting, well, not waiting, but he's given me a space with the engine sitting on the shelf ready to go in the car, so I really need to get that in the car. But before I do that, I also need to cut out a transmission tunnel, because I'm using a later gearbox which won't fit in this narrow-bodied early MGB. So to just remind you, engine-wise, I've got an 1800 MGB engine that's been bored out to 1950, had a higher lift cam in it, all flowed out, hoping it'll put out about 120, 130 horsepower. Still playing with the idea of fitting a supercharger to that as well, just to put it over the edge. And for those of you that might not have seen before, on this, what we've done is taken a Mark 1 MGB, I've cut all the rear quarters out, and I've put fiberglass wide body kit on. I've got fiberglass wide body wings for it, front wings, got a fiberglass boot lid, fiberglass doors. So what I'm hoping to do is get like 120, 130 horsepower out of the engine that we've got, but take the body weight of the car down to more something like 800 kilos. To give us a great power to weight ratio. And like I say, if we do slap a supercharger on, which is something, like I say, I'm playing with the idea of doing, try and do a supercharger conversion on a cheap with a Mini one or a Mercedes one, hoping we could get something like 150 horsepower, 100, maybe even 170 horsepower with a body weight of 700 kg. Be a lot of fun. Again, for those who don't know, already stripped the underside of the car, completely welded it up, completely stripped the suspension, the brakes, everything's been totally cleaned and painted. Got brand new British Leyland Racing spec rear springs, got British Leyland spec front springs, the cross members all been wire brushed down, painted, all new brakes, everything, and I've wrapped it up in plastic while I carry on with the rest of the build, so that I know that everything's sound underneath, ready to go. So like I say, if you want to know where we are with the 9-car flip now, comment below and I can work out the maths on it, and we'll see if those last few cars are free or not, or whether you want me to hold out until I've completed them all and find out what the final numbers are from it. And stay tuned to find out what happens with this Dacia. Do we get it running and driving, or have I just dropped that money into it for a complete waste of time? So today I've got the little micro in to do some work on that. I don't know if you remember, but it had bad paint on the corner of the bumper here. It was chipped off. So we've put a few colour coats on, and now we've got our first grab coat of lacquer on, so that's why it's a bit bitty at the moment, ready for the flow coats of lacquer. I've taken the colour up just to the edge of the wing there, and then the lacquer will be to about there, and then the fader thinner there, and the same on this side, taking the colour to about here, then the lacquer, and then the fader thinner will be on there. On the other side, I don't know if you remember, it had a dent in it, and I said I was going to brush paint them in. Well, actually I got polishing and most of it came out. The slight dent is still there, but the actual white lines that were running through that had presumably concrete dust or something in them, now that's come out, you can't actually see it, and by brush painting it I'll make it worse. So that's good, that's come out like that. And the colour match on the rattle can seems to be pretty good, so that's looking good. In between coats, I'm trying to get off that really ingrained brake dust on the Bravo, where the caliper seized and someone drove it for quite a while afterwards and just coated the wheel in the brake dust. But it's the thickest I've ever seen. It's a few mil thick, and it's taken a lot of effort to get it off. So I'm using the combination of iron off remover, brake cleaner, thinners, that's coke, thinners, to get it off. I even left it soaked in WD-40 over Sunday, because sometimes when you soak things in WD-40 it gets underneath and lifts it off. So it is gradually coming, but it's taking a while. So I have to do something like that in between coats, otherwise I rush the coats. You need to leave, it's cold, I need to leave at least 10 minutes between coats. If I don't find myself something else to do, I rush it, put too many coats on too quick. So going back and forth between the two. So next bit, I should hopefully show you this painted, ready to go. Other than that, this micro needs absolutely nothing. Now I've done this, it's going to be absolutely mint, because the interior is immaculate and the rest of the exterior is immaculate. 2995 for a 2012 with 50,000 miles. Be a nice buy for someone. So we've added the lacquer now and the fade out thinners in the corners. and it looks like it should be okay, touch wood. So just leave it well enough alone now, let it dry off and see where we are. Compressing the new springs for the Bravo. We're going all, don't know if you can see in there, let's get the light. Got new shocks, new springs, new top mounts on the front of the Bravo, so she should handle like a dream. The wings just come in as well, so going to replace that bashed up wing. I'll video a bit of that in a second. So Bravo's done, it's ready for its photo shoot tomorrow. So I ended up putting, as I think you know, bloody compressor, new discs and pads on the back and one caliper. On the front I did shocks, springs and top mounts both sides. I took her home last night, took her for a test drive. She drove perfectly, no more leaking from the engine, from the coolant side of things. That's all fine, so we resolved that as well. Tomorrow it goes in for 2 tyres and tracking, because I found it was slightly off with the tracking. So yeah, good to go. I'll get some more pictures of that tomorrow in the daylight, so you can see how the interiors come off as well. But really smart looking car now, and what we've done is future-proofed it for at least probably the next 6 years in terms of you know, the cam belt change that we've done on it, and at least a good few years on the brakes and suspension side of things. Rides really nicely now. It's come up a super clean car. Found a new badge for the front. Luckily I had one kicking around already. Really quick on the drive home yesterday. It's as I said to you, these 150 brake horsepower Fiat Alpha diesels. I think it was used in the Saabs as well, wasn't it, and some of the Vauxhalls. 250, I think it's about 250 foot-pound of torque, 150 brake, but 250 foot-pound of torque, loads of pulling power. So we will finish that off and get it up for sale tomorrow. I got the Fabia back in again for a second go on the paint. I kept seeing it in the videos, it was bothering me, so giving it a second go on the paint. I don't know, I think the colour from the motor factor might not be quite right. It's still not right. I'll flat it down tomorrow and we'll see what the score is. It seems to be coming out sort of a more orangey colour. All their other matches have been brilliant, as you've seen from the videos, although I've rattle canned those and this has been gunned on by Stu. So I don't know if that's making a difference or not. But again, I think that's the last time we can have a play with that, because just the value of the car doesn't merit any more time on it. So yeah, the Hyundai i20 sold. So the i20 I was raving about, the black one with 106,000 miles on it, that was absolutely mint. Chap came along looking for a car, saw that one. I had it up for 2395, I think I decided in, or 2295 I had it up for, 2295 I had it up for. Chap came along looking for another car, spotted that one, took it for a test drive, loved it, wanted to buy it with no warranty, trade as is. As I was still due to do a couple of little bits to it that were going to cost me a couple £100, so the warranty would cost me about 100, and then there was some other bits and bobs to do, like I'd have put some tyres on it and stuff. Let him have it for £2,000. I checked the numbers before I did it. Basically, that's £800 profit for a wash, that one. Not always that easy, as you know from my videos. Obviously, like the little Kia Picanto that's going through Copart, and I think I'm going to end up losing £300 or £400 on that, by the looks of it, because obviously putting it through Copart, I put it through with a mechanical problem, whereas obviously it was sold to me through BCA with no mention of a mechanical problem at all. I wouldn't like to do that to somebody else, so it has gone through Copart as a mechanical problem, and it looks like it's only going to sell for about £900, which would have had me break even if I hadn't had the delivery costs and the fees when I bought the car. Obviously I only bought it for about 900, but with fees and delivery and so forth, about £1,300 in it. So I'm going to have a little loss there, but I made on the i20. As long as you get more wins than you do losses, as they say, you're doing all right. So let's get this one photographed. I need to do some walk around videos of cars. I haven't done those for a little while. Get the walk around videos done of the cars, because they do help sell them at the moment, especially with the COVID, obviously. So let's get that done and get this one up for sale and see how long this takes to sell. Although I am going to be asking fairly strong money for this, the amount of work I've had to do on it. I'd like to have got it out cheap at $19.95, but that would have me too low a profit for the amount of work that's gone into it, and also to put my name to it and deal with any future problems. So I think I'm going to want nearer 2395, 2295 for that, which is at the higher end. But we've just done like a £600 service on it, plus with tyres and brakes, we're going to have done like another £300 or £400 worth of work there. So yeah, go and buy one cheaper, but end up putting that stuff off on yourself later on. Buy it from me, all done. Right, it's Saturday. I wanted to play with some of my own toys today, but I've got a customer with a little iGo here that had a leak in the boot, which I sorted a while back, but the car's still been misting up all the time. I only sold it to him for about £1,700–1,800, I think. But the windows are fogging up all the time, so we need to get the damp out of it. And I've probably gone a bit far. I offered to actually strip all the interior out, dry the carpets out, dry the floor pan out, and put it all back in again. Probably not worth it for the amount of money you make off an £1,800 car, but hopefully if I keep him happy, I'll get more recommendations. So if you ever want to start off working on an easy car, do these iGos. This iGo C1 Citroen base, this is only taking me probably about an hour, with about 10 minutes of help from my mate Scotty to strip the interior out. And it's just all simple nuts and bolts. It comes apart really nicely. They're really, really easy to work on, even things like gearboxes and stuff like that. Super simple to work on, really popular cars as well, sell really well as first time cars. So I was hoping to get onto my 106 Rally today and do a few bits and bobs on that. But yeah, got to crack on with this. The Dacia Logan is over with the car care guys. Remember the one I bought that was a non-runner? Booked in for a couple of hours sort of diagnosis with them, because that's a bit past my pay grade doing that kind of thing. Unfortunately, it turns out the reason it won't start is head gasket's gone, and it's just blowing back. So we've got to do a head gasket on that. So yeah, not a problem. We have got the margin in it to do it. I'm going to get a friend to come along and help me strip it. We'll take it over to the engine builders to have the head done. I should be able to get it all done with a new cam belt, water pump, all that for in about £500, and then I'll be in the car for about £1,700 maybe, and I still think it's a 3495, 3795 car, so still worth doing. The Bravo went up for advertising yesterday, and within about an hour, 2 people really interested in it. The iGo did that. 2 messages straight away. Someone's just come and test driven it, wants me to give them an hour for them to make their decision, and another chap wants to come and view it as soon as that guy's made his decision. So that one surprised me, because I put it out for 2,495. You can get cheaper ones out there, but I needed to put it out for that much because we've done the cam belt, we've done the brakes, we've done the brake caliper, and we've done the front discs and pads as well. I've put new tyres on the front. But it's like I said to the chap, I said there are cheaper ones about, but what I've done there in terms of retail work is probably a good nearly £2,000 worth or £1,500 worth of work on it. So that is going to need nothing for the next year. Oil and filter in a year's time, good to go. So you know, if you buy a cheapy one and then not having to pay retail to do what I've done to this, you'll be well over. So we'll see if that sells. I'll update you and see if he's those people. He's a bit of a, you know, he wasn't 100% sure, that guy. I let him spend lots of time looking over, testing out the size of the boot, that kind of thing. The other chap was kind of like, let me give you a £500 deposit now, hold it for me. I said, well, I've got to honour the agreement I had with the other guy, otherwise why would you trust me when it comes to selling you a car? So we'll see what happens with that.